It may not look like much, but this pile of stuff here is an entire shop. This all came in on a full-size semi. He was a little skeptical about the driveway, but you know, it all worked out. Unloaded it all with the skid steer in the dark because the truck showed up like at 8 o'clock at night instead of 8 o'clock the next morning. So now we can actually start building the grind hard dream shop. It doesn't look like much when you have it all stacked on pallets and stuff, but whole shop here. At long last, we're finally actually building the new shop. I dug this hole 2 years ago and ordered a steel structure kit also 2 years ago. The steel structure's in a pile over there. Got my friends Chris and Asa here helping out. I've been working with them since I was a wee youngin'. Digging the footings today, get some rebar in, some forms for the footings, and then pour the slab and the footings all in one pour. And then we'll start on the back foundation walls, and then we can start bolting together big chunks of steel and putting up a shop. Shop update, doggo update. Shop is doggo approved. Hi, Frederick. You're a little turd. Frederick ate some butter off the counter last night while I was gone and then puked in my bed in the middle of the night.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Frederick!
Shop's coming right along. We got the 3 sides of the footing form boards in.
Is that just a wood blade, Ethan?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
We're doing all sorts of unorthodox construction methods today. Well, here we are. We're, we got a big black plastic floor. Let's move in. We're getting real close to being ready to pour the slab. We gotta lay out all the rebars, which is obviously what we're working on right now. And then we have to run all the heat pipes in the floor because we're doing heated floors. A life of luxury awaits. So we've got some of our runs of pipe running through the footing on the other side. And those are all insulated because those go to the far end so that they don't lose too much heat before they get over there. Now we're gonna lay out our whole grid of rebar across the slab, and then we'll squiggly the pipes on top of them. Today's Friday. We'll probably be pouring Wednesday or something next week, so.
Premium.
Moving right along. Right, Asa? All we get is a thumbs up. My rebar bending apparatus. Gotta get my foot on there. Yeah.
That was pretty accurate.
Third time's the charm. The other two I had to adjust a little bit. Not bad, huh?
Not bad at all.
Close enough for rebar. I've had a lifelong obsession with zip ties. I think today might be curing that. I don't know if I really ever want to see another zip tie after today. After 500 of them, my hands are a little raw. Not that I've actually done 500 yet, but we bought a bag of 1,000. We'll count them when we're done and find out how many are left. Well, the day's finally come. It's slab pouring day. We got the pumper truck here, the cement truck just showed up, and yeah, patriotic heat pipes in the floor. So we'll have nice warm floors to work on.
That's going to be very premium.
Yeah, got all the bolts laid out for mounting the structure to. You can see them all here on their little plywood templates. We'll see how the pour goes today. We got 32 yards of concrete showing up.
It's a premium amount.
It's a busy day. Cameraman Steve-O is going to be cement helper man Steve-O today.
Concrete man Steve-O.
Well, you did this before running the camera for us anyway.
Well, not flat work.
Well, no, but you did some foundations. Busy day, busy day.
It's going smooth though.
Yeah, it's what is it, 8-ish? Let's see. Yeah, 7:40, yeah, almost 8. We started pouring around 6:30. Moving right along. We underestimated on the concrete though. We're gonna have to call and order another truck. But, that's how it goes.
A few yards short.
Yeah, Chris figures 10. I think he's a little bit over on that. We'll probably have a couple extra. But on the last truck, it'd be better to have extra than not enough.
Should just quickly form up a little area where we can put extra concrete where it'll be useful somewhere.
Yeah, I wish. No, we'll probably just fill in these holes where the extra footing was there. Because we have these big holes here in the front that we poured in first. Those are for where the main support columns go, so they're a little deeper and wider to support all the weight of the shop. But probably just, fill those in with the extra, I guess. Well, although if we do that, we'll never get that form board out, so I guess we shouldn't do that. Whatever, we'll just make a pile somewhere, I guess. Ah.
access is coming in handy.
Well, wasn't the intention, but since we have it, might as well make a nice smooth ramp here. That way we can build a go-kart track around the shop. I mean, why not, right? If we don't like it later, we can always break it up and move it. Later on, we'll pour a slab out the front of the shop, and it'd be really annoying to have this interfere with it. Yeah. Take another skid steer scoop. We call it the old 11,000 pound power trowel.
This is gonna be premium.
That'll be a really nice job. It's not very steep. I wanted to make it kind of mild so that, you know, you don't have to go to the moon. Can't exactly adjust it.
Yeah, but you gotta dig the hole on the other side.
No, it's a step up. You just go up and then land on top. Perfect. Actually, step up jumps are the best kind.
Are they?
Yeah, because you don't feel the landing. Not a bad jump for some leftover concrete.
No, it actually looks very premium.
I was kind of annoyed with the leftover amount at first, but now I kind of am glad that it happened because we ended up with a premium jump. Will, you showed up just in time to miss all of the hard work. We could have used you 4 hours ago.
Did you handcraft this, Ethan?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
I had the truck driver just dump a pile here, and then I was like, what are we gonna do with it? Well, it's a jump.
I want to follow this line, I think, you know, the lane that the flow go.
You gotta jiggle it to get it in there, Will.
There you go.
What you just saw is a premium bottle opener that is handmade from Ethan and the Arc Droid in our shop, and then sold on our website, grindhardplumbingco.com. Everything on there is packaged and shipped by my wife and I in our little converted garage, including the new Jet Boat shirt and the super awesome, super large garage banner. We've been selling out super fast every time we drop a new product, like this premium shirt sold out in 1 day except for double XLs. So if you want to get notified every time we drop a new product, join our mailing list. The link is in the description, and it's your support, the reason why we can build this garage and keep growing the business and keep making bigger and better projects. Thank you.
Whew. Well, that was, we started at 4:30 this morning. It's noon now. We done good, I think. Honestly, I'm pretty stoked about the jump. At first I was, like I said, I was kind of annoyed about all the extra concrete, but like, that turned out as a real nice jump. And I had just enough time to smooth it all out while Asa and Chris were doing the other half of the slab. Now I'll power trowel this last section here, give it another couple minutes to dry, trowel it off. Wash off the trowel, take it back to the rental place, and then take a nap for the rest of the day. Nah, probably not. Sounds nice though.
Ethan doesn't nap.
Well, we have a slab and footings, so that's something. And we have a jump. Bonus.
The jump's just like the best part.
So today we're going to start stacking the forms for the wall. We have over yonder those big boxes of, so you just stack those all up. You pour the cement in, and then you leave the forms there, and it's insulation. Those are quick and easy. So we'll stack those around the 3 back walls as, you know, a retaining wall for the dirt. And then we'll pour them in 2 stages, 4 feet at a time, so that they don't get all wiggly and come apart on us. But anyway, yeah, we started by stripping most of the forms this morning. These front ones are going to be kind of a pain, but it also doesn't matter because we're not pouring on top of them, so I'll dig those out later. It's actually made for cutting metal. All right, that's close enough. I can break it from there. Probably. Oh, I can break that. Come on.
I guess I shouldn't be wearing Crocs on a construction site after all.
Yeah, they're not construction rated. Well, today's concrete day for the first half of the wall, so we're just going around bracing everything up, getting it nice and straight. The truck will be here in an hour and 10 minutes or so. $11 on the dot. Wow, that's actually impressive.
That is really impressive.
11 and 0 minutes. Exciting. I'm actually really excited to backfill these walls.
It's gonna look satisfying.
It's only been 2 years that there's been a pit of sand here. Stand here and lean on my shovel so I look like I'm doing something. And I moved around some big rocks. Obviously my plan here is to do sort of a retaining wall with these giant boulders. The plan is we'll backfill the bottom half and then we'll be able to walk around on the outside of it to fill the second half. As soon as we pour this next section, then we'll be done playing the waiting game because all the rest of the shop is over there. forgot the rebar here. Gotta carry it away. And if you're wondering why we haven't done this end here, it's because I'm planning on putting some windows yonder. I didn't plan far enough ahead to pick up the wood to box those in this morning. Yeah, that's as high as the concrete goes. And then on the back wall, we still have 4 feet more, roughly, of metal when we put the structure on top. So it's gonna be a tall shop.
It is.
And that's the low side. So the front's like, I think it's like 19 foot something to the eave. This is a single pitch roof. It's gonna be nice.
Yeah, they seem like they go together really nice.
They really do. And they just make such a easy job of pouring a concrete wall. And also, you end up with extremely good insulation. You got 2.5 inches of foam on the inside and outside of your concrete. So
That's gonna be nice for those cold winter months.
yeah. Yes, I'm just putting boards in the wall for entertainment. No, I'm just kidding. This is where there's gonna be a window. Got some pressure treated 2x10s here, ripped them down to 8 inches so they fit inside the forms. And that way, well, if you could see down in here right now, you'd see there's one on the bottom. So we'll box in where the window's gonna be, but we can still stack the forms in between it, and that way it all supports everything. So when we pour concrete on top of this, it doesn't go, because we can just screw the board through these blocks and it'll all be supported. I braced all around the backside between last night and this morning, so that's all braced and leveled. So really all we got to do is stack this section, rebar it, finish blocking out this window, cap the end there, brace this side, and we'll be ready for our last pour of concrete. This time around, I'm trying to collect all these little chunks of styrofoam as I go, because yesterday the wind came up and made a gigantic mess. It's snowing in June. Right now. I've really been enjoying doing construction again. I used to do construction before we started Grind Hard, and you know, overall I don't really miss it, but that's largely to do with customers and coworkers. I've always enjoyed the process. But again, you know, when you don't have to do it every day, it's a lot more enjoyable. And when you're working on your own project, that helps. Gotta cut all these webs out so that it fits over the window frame, which of course would make it not very strong, but then I can just screw it back into the window frame and it'll be stronger than before. Big old ladder. Nice. Could you actually hand me a couple of 3-inch screws? This board is like extra thick. Yes, I'm using a Sharpie for carpentry again. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm just making bolt templates for the steel structure that's over there to bolt onto the foundation. It's over there. So these are just templates that hold the J-bolts like we had here across the front. You can see all those bolts that are embedded in the concrete. So I'm just laying them all out according to the blueprints here. Yeah, it looks like a bunch of squiggles, but it'll be a bolt pattern.
I also like your straight edge.
Look, it is actually, look, see? It's built with a 90 and a 45 on it.
Oh, wow.
Not that I'm relying on that because it's such a small surface area, but it is kind of actually made for it. This is one of the ones that goes in the back corner, so that represents one edge of concrete and this is the other, so that's the corner of concrete. We have the pattern laid out, and then there's enough extra plywood to go out past the form so that I can screw it to something and hold it in place. Although, actually, if I do that, it won't be... I mean, drilling the holes wise, it'll work, but I actually probably want to mark the
opposite side because it's a mirror.
Yeah, it's a mirror, and I mean it's pretty symmetrical anyway. But the lines are just to make sure you get it aligned, and if they're, yeah, you get the idea. But when my parents bought this property 24 years ago, almost exactly, there was a house here where we're building the shop, a very, very poorly built house that was unfinished, so we never finished it. This board was part of that. I tore it down many years ago and saved all the lumber that was worth saving. But I've got one better. This board was milled by my dad and Aza's grandfather. Many of these bracing boards that we use have been stored in various places. I've probably moved them all 20 times. But they've been around for like well over 20 years, and we finally used them.
These boards are older than Will.
That's true. They are older than Will. When he gets back, we'll have to tell him.
He'll be like, no way!
I have boards older than you, kid! I had an idea. So on the last pour of concrete, we're just using rebar. You just kind of ram it down, jiggle it about as a, sort of a concrete vibration tool to, get the air pockets out and make sure the rebar or the concrete is all spread throughout the forms. Obviously, the normal way to do it is to have a concrete vibrator, which is, they come in many forms, but some of them are essentially like a reciprocating saw looking handle, such as this, except instead of a blade on there, it just has like a long bendy bit with a thing at the end, and it vibrates and jiggles the concrete. So I thought, since we don't have one of those, might as well just make one. So I made a couple different versions here to test out, and we'll see which one works better here shortly when the concrete arrives. But yeah, so there's a little one. Shove that down into the concrete and just go back, right? And here's the bigger one for reaching deeper into the concrete. I mean, you can see how much the saw vibrates. Should work. Yep. TIG welded, no less. Getting fancy over here.
Fancy. How's she seem to be working?
Not bad. Not like exceptionally well necessarily, but push it down there and fill it up. Well, the pour of the walls went pretty well yesterday. I want to cut out this window because I want to see it. Yep. Get it. This is Sparta! That's maybe a lot of force for an uncured wall. That was satisfying.
That was extremely satisfying.
Window! To the window! Well, look at this. No more gaping holes in the earth and no more giant piles of sand laying around. Well, there is kind of giant a gaping hole still, but it's a shop-shaped hole with concrete and insulation. Yeah, so we're still gonna wait a couple more days for these walls to properly cure before we start bolting metal on. You know, we could probably start doing it now, but there's, you know, at this point there's no huge rush for that. So, plus, before we get all the metal in here, we gotta go do some donuts on the floor with the power wheels and have some fun with this giant slab of concrete before we fill it up with parts to build the shop. You know, you can see here I took the ground level down.
Oh, yeah, you took it down a little bit here.
A foot or two. So now it slopes away from the shop here. I mean, it's basically flush with the level of the concrete right here. And of course, it's not perfectly backfilled because, you know, that can be done by hand and whatever. It's all going to settle a little bit anyway. But the point is, I made it so that this corner slopes away. Well, actually pretty much everywhere does. This part slopes that way. This part slopes slightly out and that way, just so that the water drains away from the shop as opposed to toward it. Yeah, look at all this space. Now we can like do laps around the shop.
This is like what happened in the early stages of Mad Max.
You just loot the petroleum from anything you can find.
The gasoline.
The gasoline. Let's see some gasoline come out of here, okay? This is like a Mad Max situation. We have to do burnouts. And we don't have gas. This Grom is just the giver of life. It never dies.
I wish it would.
Oh yeah, this had gas in it.
Forgot about the Busa. It's got a massive gas tank full of gas.
Nice.
Because when we drove it, we filled it up and then it like hardly burned any all day.
We still need to do that half-track Busa video. That's gonna be so sick.
That would be pretty sick.
Old Faithful here.
At least this thing's not out of gas.
Nope, never. I don't know if I can get it to donut though. Pass out. Oh, that was so many donuts.
A little dizzy?
Woo! Well, now that we have a slab, some foundation walls, and all the bolts in place, we can finally start assembling this. Stay tuned for that. Very shortly, we'll have something that resembles a whole shop. Man, when you put this many vehicles in here, it really looks like a big shop. Considering that we could get like maybe 3 of the small ones in our current shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, also we've got, just look at this from the angle here, it's just a perfect descending order of machines. But yeah, it's kind of been interesting because at various stages of the process it looked really small and then it looked really big and then small again. Right now it looks massive, and when we start putting the metal up, it's gonna look a whole lot bigger, because right now we've got 8 feet. This wall is gonna be 19 feet tall when we put the steel on top of it.
Wow.
Because it's a single pitch roof to the back. But yeah, it's finally happening, and we'll be able to be a lot more comfortable while building and also build cooler stuff like the fire truck. That's probably one of the things I've been most excited about with the new shop, is being able to get the fire truck in here and actually build it, because it's been a sideline project for a long time. I don't have like an official contractor on this project. I'm just kind of doing that part myself. Chris is my contractor friend that I grew up in his shop. Chris taught me to weld, 20 some years ago. And over here, we have 3 giant boulders, which are part retaining wall and part motorcycle trials course. It's always fun to try and ride up rocks. So you could hit this rock like on the little slopey bit, and that'd be an easy one. You could just whoop. You got concrete to take off from, or if you want to get swifty, you could just go up this one and then up that one and up the hill. Because it's a step up, like an uphill jump, it doesn't really feel like much of a jump. You hit it pretty quick and you just kind of whoop, but that's okay. You got to have a mild jump here and there, and it was kind of an accident anyway. That was we ordered too much concrete jump.